Just like physical fitness is important to winning a running race, marketing fitness is important to outrunning your competition in the marketplace. To find out how, stay tuned. Hi, this is Dan Droz here at the Droz Zone. There's an old story about two guys on a hike in the woods. They see a bear in front of them, and one of the hikers carefully goes into his backpack and starts taking out a pair of running shoes. His friend looks at him and says, "What are you doing? You are never going to outrun that bear." To which his friend says, "I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun you." To win against a competitor, you have to have what it takes to outrun them. In a running race, you've got to be physically fit. In the marketplace, you've got to be marketing fit. And there are a lot of similarities between physical fitness and marketing fitness. For example, to be physically fit, you need to do two things: reduce the stuff that slows you down, that's the fat, and increase the thing that gives you performance, muscle. To be marketing fit, you need to reduce the fat of marketing, that's the cost of business acquisition, and increase the muscle of marketing, which is the perceived value of your product or service. Let's talk a little bit about the cost of business acquisition, sometimes called the cost per customer or the cost per contact. We sometimes just use the initials CPC, which relates to how much it costs you to actually make a contact with a prospect and or the total cost of landing a customer. Just imagine how fast you could grow if you didn't have to spend any time or money to get a new piece of business. The more you've got to spend to get a new piece of business, the slower you grow. Marketing fitness means first keeping that cost of contact, your CPC, as lean as possible. Well, how do you do that? By using as many marketing methods as you can that do not incur the incremental costs of frequency and reach. Frequency is how many times you reach out to or contact somebody, and reach is how many people you're actually trying to reach out to. For example, when you advertise or do direct mail, you've got to pay for every eyeball. Now, I'm not saying don't use advertising or direct marketing, but you have to be really careful not to pay for impressions that don't lead to a customer. On the other hand, if you've got trucks or vans, you can use them as rolling billboards, not just to identify your company. Effective signage on your building, outbound emails and other online methods, and a strong referral program can also reduce your contact cost. Basically anything that does not require the incremental costs of frequency and reach. Let's talk a little bit about perceived value. Well, how do you increase the perceived value of your product? The two most important principles of increasing perceived value are design and framing. Let's talk about design. Design is all the things that impact the appearance and emotional connection of your product or service. As much as we want to dismiss first appearances, the way your products and marketing materials look can have an enormous impact on the value that people assign to your business, product, or service. Similarly, framing, the words or phrases you use to describe something, can strongly influence the perception of value. We've got a client, for example, that makes products out of recycled materials. Well, when they called them recycled, they had a very low perception of value. So they just changed one word, the word recycled, to the word collectibles. When they called them collectibles, because each one was different, the perception of value was much higher, so they could actually charge a higher price for the same product. A healthy marketing program focuses on reducing acquisition cost and increasing perceived value. If you'd like more details on how to reduce the cost of marketing and increase the perceived value of your products or service, just click below for our free guide and audio program. And they can help you get in shape for winning the race in the marketplace. This is Dan Droz here at the Droz Zone. Now let's get out there and sell something.